When people hear the phrase spiritual awakening, they often imagine something dramatic, like a sudden lightning bolt of realization or an out-of-body experience. But the truth is, awakening can be both subtle and powerful at the same time. And many of its signs go unnoticed simply because we expect them to look a certain way. Today we are going to explore the secret signs of spiritual awakening no one really tells you about. Signs that are often hidden in plain sight but carry deep meaning once you start to recognize them. One of the first signs is an unexplainable restlessness that rises within you. You might feel like something is missing, even though your life seems fine on the outside. There is a sense that there is more to life than what meets the eye. This feeling may come as dissatisfaction with routine or a sudden lack of interest in things that once excited you. Many dismiss this as boredom, but it is often the spirit nudging you to look deeper, to question, and to move beyond surface-level living. Another secret sign is the shift in how you perceive time. During spiritual awakening, you might notice that time feels less linear. Some days feel extremely fast, others painfully slow, and sometimes you may even lose track of time altogether. This happens because your awareness is beginning to transcend the rigid clock-based world, touching a reality where time is more fluid and expansive. This shift can be confusing at first, but it often signals that your consciousness is expanding beyond physical limits. A powerful but often hidden sign is sensitivity. You may become more sensitive to sounds, emotions, and even other people's energy. What once felt normal, like crowded places or loud environments, might suddenly feel overwhelming. You may also notice that you are picking up on subtle emotions of those around you, almost as if you are tuning into an invisible frequency. While this sensitivity can be uncomfortable, it is a sign that your inner awareness is sharpening, allowing you to sense things that many overlook. Dreams also play a major role in spiritual awakening. You may start experiencing vivid, symbolic, or even prophetic dreams. These dreams can sometimes feel more real than waking life, and you might wake up with strong emotions or even messages that guide you through your day. This is because your subconscious and spiritual self are becoming more connected, sending you insights and lessons in ways that bypass your logical mind. Another overlooked sign is the breaking down of false identities. During awakening, you may suddenly question who you really are. The roles you play in life, whether as a student, parent, employee, or friend, may start to feel shallow or incomplete. You begin to wonder if your identity is more than labels, achievements, or external validation. This questioning is not a sign of crisis, but a deeper call to peel away illusions and uncover your authentic self. A subtle but powerful sign is an increased connection with nature. Suddenly the sky, trees, birds, and rivers appear more alive, almost as if they are speaking to you in silence. You may find peace simply sitting under the sun or listening to rain. This is because your spiritual senses are opening, and you are starting to see the divine presence reflected in the natural world. This connection with nature grounds you, making you realize that life is not separate from you, but flows through you. Another secret sign is the collapse of old belief systems. Things you once accepted without question may no longer feel true. You may find yourself questioning cultural norms, traditions, or even your own long-held ideas about life and existence. At first, this can feel destabilizing because it is like the ground beneath you is shifting. But in reality, this breaking apart of outdated beliefs is necessary for a higher and clearer understanding to emerge. You might also notice unusual synchronicities. These are meaningful coincidences that feel too precise to be random. For example, thinking about a person and then receiving their call, seeing repeating numbers like 1111, or encountering the same message in different places. These synchronicities act as gentle whispers from the universe, guiding and reassuring you that you are on the right path. Many people brush them off as chance, but during awakening, they become too frequent and profound to ignore. Another sign is the deep urge to simplify your life. You may suddenly feel a pull to let go of unnecessary possessions, toxic relationships, or activities that drain your energy. Minimalism may start appealing to you not just as a lifestyle but as a spiritual necessity. This urge reflects the soulless desire to remove clutter so that it can focus on what is real and essential. Physical changes can also be part of awakening, though they are rarely talked about. You may experience changes in sleep patterns, sudden bursts of energy followed by deep fatigue, or even shifts in your diet. Foods that once felt satisfying may no longer appeal to you, and you might crave lighter or more natural meals. These physical changes happen because the body is trying to align with the higher vibration of the awakening spirit. Another subtle sign is emotional release. Old wounds, traumas, or buried emotions may suddenly surface. You might find yourself crying unexpectedly, feeling anger without knowing why, or experiencing waves of sadness. While it may feel overwhelming, it is actually a form of cleansing. The spirit brings these emotions to light, not to harm you, but to free you from what has been weighing you down for years. One of the most beautiful signs is a shift in how you view others. Judgment begins to soften. Where you once saw enemies, you may now see people who are also struggling and learning. Compassion starts to replace criticism, and forgiveness feels lighter than holding on to grudges. This does not mean you ignore harmful behavior, but your perception begins to recognize the shared humanity in everyone. Another deep but hidden sign is the longing for truth. You no longer feel satisfied with shallow explanations or surface-level information. Crave depth, wisdom, and authenticity in everything, whether it is conversations, relationships, or the knowledge you consume. This longing guides you towards spiritual texts, teachings, or practices that align with your soul's growth. A very secret sign is the awareness of duality starting to fade. You may notice that life no longer feels like a strict battle between good and bad, right and wrong, success and failure. Instead, you begin to see how opposites coexist and complement one another, how challenges often carry hidden blessings, and how every moment, pleasant or painful, holds the potential for growth. This shift in perception is one of the clearest markers of deepening consciousness. Another overlooked sign is spontaneous creativity. You may feel drawn to paint, write, dance, or create in ways you never did before. These creative urges are not just hobbies, they are expressions of your soul, trying to communicate in new forms. Even if you do not consider yourself an artist, you might surprise yourself with the inspiration that flows effortlessly. A further sign is the feeling of inner guidance becoming stronger. You may start sensing an inner voice or intuition that feels different from ordinary thoughts. This guidance may lead you toward choices that seem illogical but later prove deeply beneficial. Trusting this inner compass becomes easier with time as you realize it is your higher self gently steering you forward. Another rarely mentioned sign is the sense of oneness. You may have moments where you feel deeply connected to everything around you, or the boundaries between self and other blur, and you experience pure unity. These moments may be fleeting, but they leave a lasting impact, reminding you that separation is largely an illusion and that all life shares the same essence. Finally, one of the greatest secret signs is peace that comes without reason. You might find yourself feeling calm even in situations that once stressed you. This peace is not dependent on external circumstances, but arises from within, a quiet assurance that you are aligned with something greater than yourself. These secret signs of spiritual awakening often go unnoticed because they appear ordinary on the surface, yet they carry extraordinary significance when viewed with awareness. Recognizing them helps you honor your journey, reminding you that awakening is not about reaching a final destination, but about unfolding into a deeper understanding of who you are and the reality you live in.